Let me turn now to the much more detailed but narrower information set that one can apply to the United States itself. And here one has to be, I think, especially careful to distinguish what one is measuring. And I particularly will draw a distinction between pay inequality, which is a term I think you will not see in the literature very much, and income inequality, which basically is tax data derived, and I think everybody knows. Pay inequality is a measure of the differences between in payrolls for different industries or geographic regions for different group structures. It's based upon establishment data, not upon the data of individuals reporting their wages or their earnings. And it is extremely sensitive, as you might imagine, to the relative tendency of industries and firms to alter the hours that they offer to workers based upon workers at different pay scales based upon economic conditions. And that seems to be the reason why this measure of pay inequality, which is drawn from the employment and earnings data set of the GLS, and it's the darker of the two series, calculated on a monthly rate going back to 1953, very closely tracks the monthly unemployment. It is a measure which is, it doesn't include the unemployed. It's just a measure of the pay of the people who remain employed. But what you can see is that unemployment is larger and higher. What is being affected here is in the pay structure of those who are working is largely, I'm sure, the weekly hours of people who are at the lower end of the pay scale. People like professors get their paychecks all the time, irrespective of whether they work or not. Blue-collar types have to be disciplined, so that's well. So there are other things going on in this data, and you can see an increasing gap in the second half, which has a lot to do with changing participation rates as well. But the most important thing is clearly a very close association. And you can see that so far as we're talking about blue-collar pay, and this is restricted to manufacturing, it's limited a little further, but I don't think it changes the picture fundamentally. The period after the mid-1990s is a period of declining inequality. It's a period in which you have a lot of unemployment rate comes down very dramatically, and a lot of second jobs and a lot of strong demand for labor at the lower end. So the two series come down together up to 2000, at which point they start rising again.